What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. In the last episode, we completed up the ice caverns and unlocked new areas here in the drablands. Before we go and explore those, though, in this episode, what do you say we head over to Madame Couture's, because I did actually do some grinding in between videos. Now, I grinded up for materials in levels that we haven't actually seen in the single player, so I used multiplayer for this grinding, and the reason I did that is because, well, I tried recording this next set of stages in single player, and it was insanely difficult. So, to make my life a little bit easier, I grinded up in order to create the Queen of Hearts costume. Now, what this allows you to do is get 3 extra hearts. Like, I've had a couple of people ask me, is there any way to increase your life, like heart containers or heart pieces? Well, there are not any heart containers or heart pieces, but you can buy this costume, and this is the only way to get some extra life. So with this costume in single player, we get 3 extra hearts. In multiplayer, I believe it only gives you 1 extra heart. Aw, so many hearts. Give onto one of your hearts, won't you, my dear? Sorry, I can't really spare them because I desperately need them. So, I mean, yeah, if you thought this game was easy, just wait till you get to, like, this point. Then it really steps the difficulty up. Trust me on that, guys. Anyways, oh, Link! I'm glad to see you safe and sound. What's up, Sir Combsley? How you been, man? Mind you, the area whose guardian you have bested is but a small corner of the drablands. Fashion is paramount. Don't slack off in your pursuit of style, boy. Plus, I'm counting on you with those bonus challenges too, you know? Didn't we already have this conversation? I feel like we did. Maybe he, like, repeats himself every time you complete a different set of stages in the drablands. I don't really know. Speaking of which, though, what do you say we set out for this new area in the drablands? And, hopefully we can get through it a little bit better this time now that we have the Queen of Hearts costume. I mean, I've already said these stages are hard, so I'm sure you guys are looking forward to it. Me, not so much. Alright, so this time around, yeah, there's only 1 new area that's unlocked instead of like 4, so some areas are still blocked off by clouds. We're not going to go and take on any of the bonus challenges. I probably won't even show those off in the main LP. Those might be shown off in like a live stream. Anyways, this is the fortress. We're going to start with the sealed gateway, and of course I'm going to be using the Queen of Hearts costume just so I can maintain those extra like 3 hearts. Now, the reason why these stages are so hard is because, well, the new enemies that they include are like normal soldiers. But I think their AI is way better because, yeah, look at this. They are blocking every single one of my attacks. Like, that would not happen in A Link Between Worlds. So I think the AI for these, like, other soldiers has sort of been upgraded to make them more focused on, like, multiplayer combat, which makes it a lot harder in single player, since really to do damage to them, you need to constantly swap between links, and yeah, already I took 3 hearts of damage. That is ridiculous for like a standard first enemy in a new level. So, I mean, maybe I'm fighting them wrong or something like that, I don't really know, but it seems like the best approach to fight them is by swapping between your links, and that would make sense since obviously this game is designed for multiplayer, but you know, when playing single player, that really doesn't translate too well. So, I mean, if you guys know of a tip to fight those guys without taking that much damage, please, please, please let me know, because I guarantee you that'll make a lot of the future levels a lot easier on me. And right now, I really have no idea how to, like, fight these guys in a one-on-one situation. Even if you use your items too, like, for instance, you're probably just thinking, oh, use your boomerang to stun the guys with the swords, right? Well, here's the thing. If you use your boomerang from the front, they can actually block it with their sword, and they pretty much always do. So really, the only way you can stun them with your boomerang is by hitting them from behind. And if you can hit them from behind with your boomerang, you might as well just use your sword since it'll actually do damage. You can use the Gush Jar to stun them as well, which works pretty well, but the Gush Jar sadly takes, you know, some time to charge up, and when these guys are running directly at you, it's not exactly the best option to deal with them. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, if you guys know of any better ways to fight these guys, please, please tell me, because I've tried to, like, think of every way to fight them, and, a lot of the ways that I've come up with don't really fit my style. Like, you really do need to be patient if you want to fight them and not take any damage as possible. But that's not really how I play Zelda games. I mean, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm sort of like the type to run and gun it when it comes to Zelda. So, I mean, maybe in this particular game, I'm just going to have to, like, you know, learn to not do that, because that type of playstyle is just going to get me killed, it seems. So unless there's like some huge thing that I'm missing that you guys know about and want to tell me about, I might have to start playing a little bit differently for the rest of this game. And oh yeah, this guy ended up killing me a couple of times in my previous recording attempts, because he is a tough dude to fight, let me tell you that much. I really don't have a good strategy for him either. Really, the best thing you can do is kind of just go in and hope you can take him out quick without taking too much damage. But I did take like 4 hearts, which is a lot in this game. That is something I've learned very, very quickly from playing this game, is that you don't have a lot of life, and stuff does a lot of damage. So you really, really need to be careful. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, no duh. I mean, we've known that the entire time, but like, here's the thing. I'm just sort of now realizing that, because I've said it before, and it's like one of the things I was kind of complaining about in this game is that it was really, really easy. Now, yeah, they definitely bumped up the difficulty, and I'm totally okay with that. Like, here's the thing, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about this difficulty spike at all, because like I said, one of my major complaints before the game was that it was really, really easy. Now it's a little bit harder, I'm like, alright, you know, this is more in line with a traditional Zelda game in terms of like difficulty, so you really do need to like pay attention. I'm sort of learning, I guess, the proper way to play this game now, because the cheap tactics and stuff that I was doing before really are just gonna end up getting me killed now, so I really just need to be more careful and sort of, you know, relearn how to play this game. And wow, that was not at all what I wanted to happen. I like how this normal soldier is like doing a ton of damage to me, because I'm just like playing like an idiot right now, but there we go. Jeez, man. Okay. Gotta learn to be careful. Alright, let me actually get some hearts before we go off to the next stage, though, because I want to do my best to, like, keep my HP up, since I do know there are a lot of threats, like, in these next few set of stages, especially this one, and the boss of the next set of stages that I plan on going through. Like, those are the areas that I'm afraid of the most, if I can say that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna try and do everything I can to not die in those upcoming areas, which is probably a good thing to do regardless of, you know, if you're good at the game or not, or if you're making a video or not. Trying not to die, generally a good thing. I will say this, though. The puzzles are getting more and more interesting as these stages go along. Like, now, though, the stages and puzzles in general are more designed for 3 links. Like, the entire game, obviously, is designed with multiplayer in mind, so that makes sense. But what I mean by that is, beforehand, like, a lot of the stuff you could do as one person very, very easily. Now, a lot of the stuff, it's like, you can really see that it was designed more for 3 people in mind, since some of the things are getting harder and harder to pull off as one person, and you can see how they would just be a lot easier with 3 people. So it's an interesting difference between like these stages and these stages that we played earlier on, whereas earlier on it was like, oh yeah, one person could do this no problem. Now it's like, alright, this is getting a little bit sketchy to do as one person here. I'm gonna have to like try to figure out a cheap way to do this. I don't know. Anyways, let's open up this chest and get ourselves 50 rupees. Not bad, not bad at all. So yeah, I am excited for the rest of this game, because I really want to see what else Nintendo has in store for us, because it seems like we're getting to the point now where Nintendo just like stops holding back and shows us all the really, really cool stuff that they've been, you know, keeping a secret up until now. And I'm really looking forward to that, even though you know, right now I am having a little bit of trouble with the game just because I guess I don't know how to properly play it as one person, but I'm sure, you know, once we see the really convoluted stuff, I'll be a little bit better at the game. I'll know how to, you know, abuse single player a little bit better just to get through these levels a little bit easier. And, you know, difficulty is not a bad thing. Like, I know I've been talking about it a lot in this video, but just know that I'm really not criticizing the game or complaining about the difficulty. More or less just like stating the obvious and making sure you guys know what you're getting into before you take on these set of stages. If you are using my videos as sort of a guide or something like that, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, I thoroughly am enjoying this game. I think it's well worth the price tag. Like, even if you are just going to play it single player, it's still very, very fun. And certainly, if you plan on using multiplayer, it is definitely worth the purchase because that's where the game really does shine. I don't know, I just felt that I needed to clarify that a little bit because sometimes the stuff that I do say gets taken out of context, and I really don't like to see that too much, especially when it comes to, like, me talking about games, because sometimes I'll say something like, oh, they could have done this better, and that'll be taken like, oh, this game is horrible. And it's like, no, that's not at all what I meant. Like, the game is still good, it's just like I wish they changed this one little thing and made it a little bit better, but yeah, whatever. I guess that's just gonna happen no matter what I say, so I should just, like, get used to it, I suppose. Anyway, we are almost done with this set of stages. Like, we're already on stage 4. I mean, if I could kill these guys, that'd be great. You know, I kind of wish, like, they didn't block every single one of your attacks, and ha, take that, man. I mean, I realize they did that to make the combat more fun for multiplayer, but I feel like maybe if they eased up on that a little bit in single player, it'd be more fun for the single player, is what I'm saying. But not a big deal. Anyways, this is actually a pretty cool puzzle because I've actually made it this far before. Like I said, I did do some grinding on multiplayer and stuff like that, so yeah, you just gotta blow these 2 weights with your gust jar, then you can take your other 2 links across. Now, you could still probably make it across that pathway with the blue link, or whatever link has the gust jar, but they did unlock this gateway for us and we have boomerangs, so we might as well use them. And again, it just goes to show you that there are, like, several different ways you can solve the puzzles in this game, which I think is good, especially for a multiplayer title, because then it allows the opportunity for different players to come up with different solutions, and not every puzzle always has to be solved the exact same way, which is great for replayability. Anyways, yeah, these guys, same tactic as before, just, like, try and tank as much damage as you can and do as much damage to them as possible. That way you can hopefully kill them before you yourself die. I really don't have a better strategy for fighting them right now other than that. So, again, if you guys know anything, please let me know. But it looks like that is going to do it for the sealed gateway. And honestly, that might be the harder of the 2 stages that we're going to do in this video. I don't really know. Let's go with this chest. And we got some silver thread. I think that is actually the rare material. And yeah, it is. Sweet. Alright, so we had a little bit of a mishap in the last episode. Like, I still think that person's comment about, like, the material rotating counterclockwise is correct. Problem is, it may not apply to, like, stages that complete an area. Not entirely sure. Or there might be, like, a super rare material that, like, throws it off. I don't really know yet. So there's something to it, but I think it needs a little bit more investigation, so hopefully we'll figure out something by the end of this LP. For now, though, let's move on to the next stage, which is bomb storage. So this is a stage that was in the demo of the game, and since it was in the demo, obviously I covered this technically a long time ago in, like, one of my demo videos, obviously. So while we're going through this again, I guess I can tell you guys, like, a quick little story about something that, like, happened to me earlier this week, because there was a lot going on behind the scenes this week, and my week was pretty stressful for the most part. Like, at least the earlier days in the week were, and I did not plan that at all. Like, it was supposed to be a super chill, easy week, like normal, but of course, something happened to change that. So, basically, let's go all the way back to Monday, because that's sort of where this began. Now, I'm not the greatest at telling stories, but I'll try to, like, keep this somewhat short. So, Monday. Everything was pretty much normal, you know, I recorded, uploaded a video, no problem. Now, 12 a.m. on Tuesday, Halo 5 was going to release, and Halo is one of the few games that I'm, like, super into, so I was totally excited for that. Had it preloaded on my Xbox, all ready to go. So as soon as it hit midnight, I was just going to play until, like, you know, 3 in the morning, or until, like, whenever I passed out from just being, like, too tired or something like that. And then, I was going to take, like, Tuesday off and just play the rest of the game all day until I beat it, because that's typically what I do when a new Halo game comes out. I just play it through in, like, 24 hours. So in order to accommodate for this, I was going to record Monday night another video for Tuesday. But Monday night, I was on my computer playing a game casually, and all of a sudden, my screen went dark. And, you know, I've dealt with enough computer stuff to know what that means. And I kind of thought my GPU was dying, because every now and again when I would render a video, it would just crash. So my screen goes dark, and I'm like, well, crap, I'm pretty sure my graphics card just died. Sure enough, I restart the computer a couple of times, blue screens every time, get into safe mode, try to update the drivers, again, nothing really fixed it, it just like blue screen whenever I would try to boot in normally. So, at this point, my graphics card was dead, couldn't really use my desktop, which means I couldn't record. Like, I have a laptop, but it's really not good enough to record videos, let alone edit and render out videos. So, I was like, okay, I gotta find a solution for this. I normally do have a backup graphics card, but I'm actually letting someone else use that right now, so kind of out of luck, couldn't really go and get that one back. So really my only option was to go out and get a new graphics card, and some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, that's not that big of a deal, you know, you can buy graphics cards at a lot of different places nowadays, like Best Buy, stuff like that, they all have graphics cards. Problem is, my editing software, it prefers the older graphics cards over the newer ones, for GPU accelerated rendering. And what that means is, I can render the videos using the graphics card instead of the normal computer processor. And, to make that, like, simple to understand, basically, it's just faster, because if you render a 20-minute video, say, on the GPU, it'll take, like, maybe 12 minutes. Whereas if you rendered that same video on the normal computer processor, it'd take like over an hour. So a huge time saver, as you can imagine. And since that graphics card that I was using is so old, they really don't make it anymore. So I could buy another one on eBay, but that would take a couple of days to get there. So that wasn't really an option. The only thing I really could do was hope that I could find some way to get like the newer card to work with my editing software, and then just go out and buy it at Best Buy. And I did a little bit of Googling, I found something that would suggest the newer cards could work with my software, so you know what, I said, that's good enough, let's go get one. So I rush out to Best Buy the next morning, purchase myself a $350 graphics card, and bring it home, because here's the thing, the website only listed 2 graphics cards that would work with this new method. And one of them was the $350 expensive one, and the other one was a less expensive card that I would have preferred to buy, but of course Best Buy didn't have it, so I was kind of out of luck and forced to buy the really expensive one. So I get it, bring it home, plug it in, and start going through the steps to make it work. Sure enough though, the website was kind of inaccurate and only listed steps for the cheaper version of the card, so you can't actually do it with like the more expensive version. So cue me being a little bit upset for a couple of hours, not really knowing what to do, but I was on the right track. I eventually did figure out a way to make it work. It took like 3 hours, but I found a way to make it work on Vegas, which is my editing software, by the way, and it allows me to render quicker than actually my older card did, so that was all good. While this was going on, I actually forgot to mention that the day before, before my graphics card actually broke, I was in the middle of sending an email back and forth between this company to land a freelance editing gig, because I do those every now and again to supplement some extra income, because, you know, YouTube doesn't pay a whole lot of money. But, I was, like, right in the middle of emailing this guy and setting up, like, a phone call, that way I could talk to him more about his specific needs for his video. And, the last email that he said to me, I think was like the time that he was going to call, but that was around when my computer broke. So I actually didn't open that email until after I had gotten the new card, got it installed, and fixed its issues with my editing software. So I opened that email up like right after I solved all my problems, only to find out that he wanted me to call him at around 1, and it was like 1:10 by the time I saw that. So I was already a little bit late to this phone call. And like, when you're trying to make a first impression with a company, that is not what you want to happen. So I was like freaking out, and thankfully I did send them my cell phone number, so they actually called me pretty much like seconds after I finished reading the email. I was super apologetic to the guy. He understood, you know, what was going on. I explained the situation. He was cool about it. I ended up getting the job, which is really, really good, especially since I just spent a ton of money on this graphics card. So hopefully by the time I'm done with this job, I'll be able to more or less make back what I spent, because, oh man, it was just a crazy time, let me tell you that much. Also, I did end up beating Halo 5 in like a day, so not really that big of a deal. But that's pretty much the entirety of my story. Everything did thankfully work out in the end, but my gosh, those like 2 days were crazy. Me trying to like figure everything out, almost missing a very important phone call and all that. Crazy, let me tell you that much. Alright, so here we go. The boss of bomb storage. Now, you guys have seen me play this in the demo. In the demo, really not that hard. Single player, holy crap, it's dang near impossible. Like, it is ridiculous. Of course, right now, it's actually not that bad because this is phase 1. Phase 1 of the fight, really, really easy. If everything was as easy as phase 1, I would not say a word about this fight. But wait until we get to phase 2, guys, because then it just gets, holy crap, insane. Like, that is the only way that I can describe it. Like, this fight was clearly designed for 3 players, and doing it as 1 is the most hectic thing on the planet. Like, this is the boss that made me realize I needed to go and grind in order to create the costume for the extra hearts, because I died so much on this boss trying to record it. You guys have no idea. It was actually kind of ridiculous. This fight is clearly designed for like 3 people, because there's a lot of timing in phase 2 that is very unforgiving as 1 person. Like, if you're less than perfect, you are not going to be able to do any damage to like the phase 2 section of this fight. It's just ridiculous. Hopefully we can actually get there though. Alright, there we go. Now here comes the fun part, guys. You might think, oh, there's only 1 guy this time around, that's not that big of a deal. Well, here's the thing, he throws that big bomb, which you can't really blow with your gust jar, so you have to use your link with the smaller bombs, and then you have to blow it over with another link using the gust jar. That doesn't seem that hard, but these little stupid blue enemies are the bane of my existence. The fact that these guys even exist on this field, you know, during phase 2 makes it so much harder, because that actually limits the amount of time you have tremendously, since if the main boss appears anywhere on like the left or right side, you have less time in order to set up a bomb and then blow it into him before one of those little tiny blue guys, you know, comes rushing at you, bumps into you, and if one of them hits you, not only will you lose a heart of damage, you're not going to have enough time to reset up and get in line for your gust jar in order to actually do damage to this guy. So, yeah, there is a lot going on in this second phase that relies heavily on timing and kind of RNG, because I believe the number of blue things that spawn on either side is kind of random. Like, it can range from 1 to 4, so you could get kind of lucky and have only 1 spawn, or you can get super unlucky and have like 4 spawn, in which case then it's pretty much impossible in order to set up a bomb to deal damage to this guy. So yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of the game at this point, I would say. Unless you guys know like a better way to fight this in single player, if you do, let me know, because I swear I've tried everything. Like, you might be thinking, oh, can't you just like totem up and then throw a bomb over? No, you can't. If you try to, the bomb will not make it over there. I've tried pretty much every alternate way that I've thought of that you can fight this guy. nothing has worked. So this is the only way I know how to personally beat him. If you know of anything, let me know. But yeah, see, you can't even just like throw a bomb over there. It will not make it across that gap no matter what you do. A 2-person totem, 3-person totem. Pretty sure they designed it that way because if you could, it would make the fight a lot easier. But in single player, I mean, maybe you would need that extra crutch of easiness just to beat this guy. Because like, this fight wouldn't be that hard if these blue things didn't appear in the single player. Like, in multiplayer, it makes sense because you can have one player playing defense, and the other 2 players can set up the bomb and blow it across to the sky. But when you're playing as one person, you can't really do all 3 rolls quickly enough in order to hit him, so this fight does become a little bit infuriating. Other than that, though, it's still a pretty fun fight. But yeah, it's definitely more designed for multiplayer. So, alright, this actually might be a... Oh, come on! Literally, okay, we still got the hit, I'll take it. But like, again, the placement of these blue guys is so annoying and like can really make it or break it for this fight. Also, it would help if, you know, I could actually throw the bombs onto the platform instead of off them. That would be great too. Also, the more this guy appears in the middle, the better chances you have... Alright, you know what? It worked. I'll take it. The better chances you have at, like, actually dealing damage to him. Because when he does appear on the left or right side, I think I might have already said this, but, yeah, it's almost near impossible to deal damage to him since the blue guys are in the way. And holy crap. Alright, I might actually die here. So, let's pause real quick, go off to the side, get some hearts, and hopefully, not die to this fight again. I mean... Even with the 3 extra hearts, I'm still struggling on this fight. He is glowing red, so thankfully he might almost be dead. But this is taking a very long time. Gosh dang it. Why did that one explode so quickly? I don't know. Alright. Dude, the worst part is, like, he taunts you too. And, like, you'd think maybe in that time that he's taunting you, it would give you, like, enough time to actually hit him again. It doesn't. Gosh dang it. Ugh. Alright. Oh, I almost just walked off again. That would have been really bad. But, yeah, it does not give you enough time to set up another bomb and, blow it at him when he's taunting you. So just keep that in mind. And please, can you just hit him? Can you just hit him? This is not a hard fight, Matt. You're making it a lot harder than it needs to be. Well, it is kind of a hard fight, but I'm making it a lot harder than it needs to be. In these stupid blue things, man, I swear, they're in the worst places all the time. Alright, can you just appear in the middle, or at least somewhere close to the middle? That'd be great if you could. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's set up a bomb. And that's not gonna be able to go in, is it? No, it's not. Cool, man. Cool. This fight is literally never going to end if I can't, like, throw a bomb in the right area and actually blow it across. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Please, just blow it across. Oh my gosh, he still has 1 more hit, or at least, like, maybe 1 or 2 more hits. I don't know. Please let it be just 1 more hit. Like, I don't know how much longer I can stand this. I'm actually slowly going insane right now. You have no idea. I only have 4 hearts left. Need to be a little bit careful. Alright, he's in the middle. Perfect. Okay, that's a good bomb. Let's just blow it across, and please let that be it. Thank goodness. Holy crap. I swear, that is like the hardest boss in this game thus far. It is ridiculous, man. Like, anyone who's played this single player, please back me up in the comments, because I know there is someone out there who's gonna be like, oh no, this boss is really easy. It's like, no, it's not. This is hard in single player, alright? It's actually hard. Oh man, I am glad that is over though. So let's go and get our reward. It should be in this chest. So we got a stiff puff. Actually, I don't think that's the rare material. Yeah, no, it's not. It's in the middle chest. Alright, so now it's going the other way around. This definitely needs some more investigation then. We'll figure it out eventually, guys. But there we go. We did it, and we didn't actually die this time. I was very worried we were actually going to use another fairy, but thankfully we did not need it. It's a good thing I made that costume, though, because without it, I really don't think I would have been able to complete that fight. Anyways, that seems like a very good place to end off this video, so if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.